What's up, family? Welcome back to another legendary reaction video. Let's go.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1998 NBA Finals.
James catches, puts up a three.
They ain't had to use the Titanic flute from Celine Dion's song. Also, I just did that reaction video. Go check that out, family.
Go! Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
Kiss me, I'm so pretty, JJ Redick.
I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
When it comes to the NBA Finals, it's always been the peak and the pinnacle of basketball entertainment. Whether it be Magic and Bird in the 80s, Jordan in the 90s, Kobe and Shaq in the 2000s, or Steph versus LeBron in the 20s.
Well, wait, family, because a lot of people say clearly the old NBA wasn't as good as they say because the ratings was low. I seen a comment and down in my comments about the old NBA, the TV ratings, as you can see, were low back then, so the old NBA wasn't all that compared to today. Comment down below. I'm curious to see you guys' opinion on that. Do you guys feel like ESPN destroyed the NBA Finals today? In today's NBA? I'm curious. I'll give a little bit of my insight and perspective and answer on that as we go along the video.
Now, looking to the 2020s era, I feel like the final series, the quality of the series, has declined nearly every season. And looking at the past two finals specifically, it's kind of just sanitized and watered down from past finals and finals productions. And looking at the ratings, it reflects that 100%. As the last time a single NBA Finals game got over 15 million viewers was 2019 Warriors vs. Raptors, Game 5 of that series.
I remember that game with the Raptors and the Warriors. Boy, that was an intense game, boy.
Things decline for the finals, viewership, and just lack of interest in basketball nowadays, it is pretty astounding. And the two entities I blame most for this, first off is ESPN, and second off is Adam Silver. And looking at Silver...
Ooh, Adam Silver. Do you feel like the NBA is declining right now because of they need a new face of the NBA? And that's why Bronny could possibly be that face of the NBA, or is going to be that face of the NBA after LeBron leave. Because I feel like ESPN, their take on LeBron is a lot. They do that a lot. Their take on LeBron to keep things alive and keep things curious, and their take on the Lakers versus actually having their take on a team who's actually doing a tremendous job. Because most of their takes ain't going to be on the Celtics, and obviously now because the Celtics won the championship. But even now, the vocal point is LeBron. As being a face and still being magnificent and amazing as he is. I'm not taking his accolades or what he done and what value he brought to the game of basketball away, but maybe that's why they're trying to transition that to his son, because there has been patterns of the face of the NBA from Larry Bird to Michael Jordan and so forth. You know, comment down below. I'm curious. Do you believe that the NBA has destroyed the NBA Finals, or the NBA, let alone Adam Silver, is making the NBA not as grow as much, or the NBA not be as interesting because they need a new face? I believe they most likely, if anything, is seeking a new face. And from my perspective, they have to keep a face to keep the interest of the game of basketball, and that's what they usually run off of. And for individuals who just actually love the game of basketball, the hard-earned grit, and you had to earn your keep and play hard, I feel like everybody knows nowadays the saying is, oh, wait till the playoffs. That's when the NBA really, you know, gets serious and people get down dirty and play hard. You know what I'm saying? It's a long season. Don't get me wrong, you know, but, you know, with all these floppings and stuff like that, people flopping, is the integrity of the game the same? I don't believe so as the old NBA.
First, this guy for the majority of his reign as commissioner just been very lackadaisical, asleep at the wheel, and coasting off past successes of someone like David Stern.
I love David
And for
Stern.
NBA fans specifically, we appreciate the little things, the little nuances that make the game that much more exciting. One of those things for the finals is that logo in the middle of the court and the championship atmosphere it provides. Now, Adam Silver in his reign has promised numerous times his logo would return. Has he done it? Not so far.
Liar!
Now,
The little memes in between the videos is hilarious. Yeah, interesting topic, man.
Now, what Silver will do is create an in-season tournament with god-awful ugly courts that nearly blind your eyes. And look, when it comes to finals logo, is that going to get viewers to watch, people to tune in? No, not really. But for the finals atmosphere, you can't deny that Larry Bryant's center court just provides something extra. And looking back at the finals that featured that logo, that era is very distinct. When you watch those series, even see pictures of those series, immediately you're taken back to KG versus the Lakers, Wade versus Dallas, and then Kobe versus Orlando and Boston. So Adam Silver, if you can turn all the NBA courts green, red, orange, these god-awful ugly colors, why can't you put the championship logo at center court for the NBA Finals? And when talking about the final details, the aesthetics, the NBA Finals logo also has been a major downgrade in the late 2010s and early 2020s. As for various decades prior to that era, it was iconic and memorable. Look at the logo from
Comment down below,
86-95.
family. Do you believe that the in-season tournament is even going to be sustainable a long period of time? Like, I wasn't really checking for it. You know, I'm just like, okay, this is another accolade that can be added to expand the repertoire of accolades to players. But it's like, it doesn't really gain the interest as just versus the playoffs, because we all know individuals just trying to sustain themselves to continue to get to the playoffs and then play hard then and there to actually play, because that's when everything's on the line. So I don't know, man.
When you see that logo immediately, you think Magic vs. Bird, early Jordan, the mid-80s to mid-90s. Now, the second logo, also iconic. And what do you think of when you see it? The three-peat Bulls and the three-peat Lakers. And personally, my favorite logo from 04 to 2017, kind of a splice of both with the cursive and the championship trophy.
Perfection.
Now, getting to the absolutely dreadful and the ugly, the finals logo from 2018.
That does look type of bland. My favorite was the 2004-2017 logo.
2021. I mean, looking at this logo, what
was
is
my
this
ever.
and who whipped it up in 5 seconds? All you have is the Jerry West logo, the finals,
Excuse the thunder, family. There's a little bit thunder in the background if you guys hear it, you know, due to the rain and stuff about to take place.
plain letters, and then the year sideways. And look, why I talk about the logos, the court design, is basketball at the end of the day, it is entertainment and a business. And for
Sure.
business, what matters? Presentation. These past couple years, the NBA Finals, yes, I watch every game I tune in. I'm a diehard NBA fan. But if you're being honest, does it feel like the finals from the 2010s or the 2000s? If you ask me, it doesn't. And how do you get that back? Add the finals logo, the championship logo, get rid of the YouTube TV ads, and have the ESPN halftime show not be 25-second segments at a time with 15 commercials in between. And that right there is the biggest problem. This halftime show 95% of the time provides no insight, no detail, and really no value.
Family, do you believe that ESPN actually brings value to the NBA? I just feel like it's more trash talking than insight. They do have a little bit interesting topics here and there, but I don't know. I don't really check for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't check for first take and all that. You know.
6 for 18 shooting, 14 points. Tatum and Brown, 31 points on 12.
This guy always yell when he speaks.
25 shooting. This is game 5 of the NBA Finals. The stars for Boston showed up. The stars for Dallas. There's an APB out for them right now.
So that right there is the state of ESPN and their halftime show. Just Stephen A. Smith being loud for 30-35 seconds, reciting basic stats, saying this star has to play better, this star isn't stepping up, and just saying things that are fairly obvious to everyone who's watching. Now, looking past the halftime crew, the biggest part of the failure of ESPN is their coverage of the actual games and their announcers. That being Mike Breen, who's fantastic, JJ Redick, who's alright, and Doris Burke, who's the worst. Now, my main problem with this crew isn't Mike Breen, Redick, or Doris as individuals. It's more of the awkward fit in the pairing of these three. And looking at our past finals crews, what do they have? Chemistry, rapport, and were beloved by all NBA fans. Those guys from 07 to 2023 called every single finals and became legends in the process. And some of the games they covered, Game 7 Lakers vs. Celtics, Game 6 Heat vs. Spurs, the entire 2016 3-1 comeback. And from an audience perspective when it comes to finals, what do you want? You want chemistry, credibility, and just reliability. Those three guys had it every single final.
That is true. And they also brought the interest of the players who involved themselves, let alone the chemistry that was taking place. I don't know, family. I feel like the takes now between halftime and stuff is trash. I do love Ernie, Kenny Smith, Shaq's and Charles Barkley take. You know, Charles Barkley did retire, and then NBA on TNT is obviously going away. I feel like they should have kept that. Comment down below. I don't know, man. I just feel like everything is more up for money grabs, and it's coming off desperate. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like they're paying attention to the little eye-capturing details that makes the bigger picture to gain the interest of the viewers, let alone make the game of basketball interesting, because I don't feel like a lot of people are checking for the NBA as they was then as they are now. They're not doing it as much. You know what I'm saying?
This year's ESPN
Women's basketball is taking over. Now, nothing against that. I'm happy because there's a lot of things I'm learning about the WNBA I never knew. I never knew they had the Team USA WNBA. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man.
was the exact opposite of reliable and consistent. As to start the year, it was Breen, Doris, and Doc Rivers, the guy with the ashiest voice in league history.
I'm not a real doctor. I'm just Doc Rivers.
But then Doc fell out, JJ replaced him, and it was Doris, JJ, and Mike Breen. And JJ as a commentator, I mean, he's inexperienced, but still a pretty good commentator. But just like Doc, jumped ship for an NBA coaching job. Now, then you have Doris Burke, who, yeah, she's Doris Burke.
Kiss me, I'm so pretty, JJ Redick. Oh my goodness.
I'm so confused right now.
Hearing that call weeks later, still, I have no idea what she was trying to say, imply, or
I think she was just trying to add a bit of a humor, but it was like awkward in a way.
What she was saying. And that comment alone should invalidate the entire 24 finals, and the Celtics championship should be revoked on the spot. That's how bad that call was, and how out of place it was compared to someone like Mark Jackson with the all-time great one-liners.
Steph Curry, extreme confidence. Here's the chatter. Delhi's the Curry stopper. Not on my watch. Nothing like eating at the deli. That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
The enthusiasm from that fan right there. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, man, they had the amazing chemistry, charisma, all of it, bro. The swag. You know, Shaq is Shaq. Charles is Charles.
And speaking of Mark Jackson, him and Van Gundy, it wasn't like they retired, they got old, and sick of calling the finals. These guys were fired from ESPN and just kind of let go and kicked to the curb. We could have had Breen, Jackson, and Van Gundy for really the next 10 years, and it would have been solid and great every single time. But for some reason, ESPN had to shake it up for the sole reason of just shaking it up. And if ESPN's lineup for commentators was so great, so deep, they had the next Bob Costas or Marv Albert, I'd understand the switch and the changing of eras. But for this specific change, they fired two legends, for one guy who's a head coach in the NBA now, and Doris Burke. And if you look at past final series, someone like Bob Costas, I wouldn't say was the best play-by-play guy, but post-game, pre-game, made you feel like it was the NBA Finals, and there's gravity and weight behind the series, and every single game.
His essence is so much deeper than image. In fact, the image is, in his case, an amplification of something true and substantive. Take all the money, all the adulation, all the TV cameras away, and put Michael Jordan in a gym somewhere with Russell and Oscar, West and the Doctor, and he'd be as genuine and as...
Russell, Oscar, West, and the Doctor. They're that Ryan family. I don't know. I feel like he brings that curiosity back to the game the way he's talking.
His element as any of them. His heart and his athletic integrity every bit as impressive as his artistry. So whenever it ends, it's been an incredible ride for Jordan and the Bulls, and we at NBC have been privileged to be taken along for that ride.
Now, one last thing I do want to mention, past the finals presentation, the aesthetics, the commentary, is the actual play on the court and the play style teams in the 2020s. Looking at Mavs vs. Celtics, this series in essence was a three-point shooting contest, with Boston taking 41 per game and Dallas taking 30. And the winners of every single game this series, Game 1, Boston took the most threes. Game 2, Boston again took the most threes. Game 3, the exact same thing.
Yeah, that is true, because the vocal point of the game been about you being able to shoot the three, and let alone centers have to know how to shoot threes too.
For Dallas made
I
more
feel bad for the
threes,
centers.
and Game
I'm
5,
worrying about the centers. At first, it was the guard I was worried about, but now I'm worried about the centers. You know what I'm saying? Because the role of centers has changed over time.
again, made more threes. I understand Boston's game plan is to take and make threes at an insane rate. And looking at this year's playoffs, it wouldn't 100% worked. I'm not knocking that. What I am knocking is that brand of basketball is the most entertaining and fan-friendly. And looking at the past 5 finals of this decade, in 2020, the bubble, no fans, no atmosphere, and the timing of the series was pretty odd. 2021, I would say, was a great finals. 2022,
Yeah, that was.
while it had massive legacy stakes, it wasn't a great series top to bottom, as every game 1 through 6 was decided by double digits, and the margin of victory was 13.3 points. 2023, Jokic versus an 8 seed, not the greatest matchup with the biggest marquee franchises you can think of, and really past Game 1 of the series was never in question. So when it comes to the decline of the NBA Finals, there are a ton of factors. But the 2 biggest problems with the finals, in my view, it's ESPN their presentation and Adam Silver, the commissioner, not making it feel like the finals. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I do agree. You know, that the finals feel more like a regular game nowadays. It doesn't feel intense as it used to be. And then the ESPN, man, I just feel like they don't give you that spark of curiosity no more. You know, picking the viewers' brains or making the viewers think, let alone be aroused or aroused about, I think that's a good word to use, be aroused of excitement before things actually take place. It's more a personalized trash talking and their own thoughts of opinion, which is nothing wrong with giving, but it's just basic stats that we do be given that we obviously seen during that gameplay, but it's nothing like any value to give the viewers that we already haven't seen in regards to the gameplay, the value, in regards to the gameplay from the value that was already presented by the player. Comment down below you guys' thoughts, family. I'm curious. I do believe, you know, that ESPN, I mean, that they tend to throw away their good commentators and individuals who actually immerse themselves into the game of basketball and actually speak from thoughtful perspectives to continue to bring value to the viewer's mind, which is important. And I feel like, you know, I don't feel like it's better, because that 2004 to 2017 logo, when the Celtics played the Lakers and so forth, man. And I feel like after the Warriors did they run, and then the Raptors did they run against the Warriors, or the Raptors did they run in the finals when Kawhi got their first championship, I haven't really felt the excitement as much. Comment down below when you lost that spark of excitement for the finals and let alone excitement of just the game of basketball in general. What year? Mine was after Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors. So with no further ado, family, hope you guys enjoyed this video. On that note, family, until next time, peace.